The newest experts of the Equine Ed family are Eric Anderson and his wife Sharyl. They own and operate Xtreme Horsemanship in Webster, Florida. What is Xtreme Horsemanship? Well, hold on to your belt buckles, your top hats, your spurs, and your riding props. This is going to be one heck of a ride.
We call it extreme horsemanship, and it all started when we shot SAS mounted shooting. And SAS allowed us to do some extreme stages. We would jump over jumps and shoot. You'd go halfway through the course, you'd have to stop, load your guns, back your horse up, side pass, shoot, go through water. There were different obstacles, and it was called the extreme stage. Well, at the end of the year, I got the plaque because I had won the most times during the year. And it gave us an idea for extreme horsemanship. It was something extreme. Not everybody takes their horse and does the things that we do. And we're not probably the most extreme folks in the entire country, but we do a lot of extreme stuff. Stuff where people say, I bet you can't do that. Oh, hold my beer and watch this. You know, we try to be safe about what we do and know our limitations, but in order to really know your limitations, you have to exceed them every once in a while, or you're not pushing the envelope. Oftentimes people will sell their horse short by saying, well, he's not going to do that. They'll show up on an obstacle course and see an obstacle and say, oh, he's never going to do that. Well, you're right, he's not with that attitude. And what we try to do is have the attitude, let's find our limitation. I was about four or 5 years old was my first time riding. And man, it was fun. I had it was the greatest. This is so squared away. And we'd rock nice and easy. And well, then the time ran out and Dad had to put another quarter in. And then I was hooked. So riding was something that started out right outside the supermarket, back when they used to have the horses there outside the supermarket.
When did you start riding real horses?
I started riding real horses, I could say I bought my first horse in 1991. That was my first attempt at trying to work with a horse and ride with a horse.
Why?
I felt like I had too much money and too much time on my hands. And I just felt like, why not spend a lot of money on an 1,100 pound animal that doesn't appreciate me? And, okay, seriously, because I like horses, I've always thought they were majestic. They're the most awesome creature on the planet, and they put up with our shenanigans like you wouldn't believe. And it looked like fun. Not only that, but everybody wants to be Wyatt Earp. So I got my first horse. That was a disaster. Because you always think the horse is the one screwing up. And the more you learn about horses, the more you find out that the problem is above the saddle. And I have worked my entire career at trying to fix my issues above the saddle. Whether it's the way I sit, the way I hold my hands, not pulling in the horse's face, not balancing on the reins, not kicking them while I'm running. All the little demons that get into your body when you get on the back of a horse, because you are pretty sure that he has no clue or she has no clue what's going on, and you're in charge, and we're gonna screw things up my way today. But in reality, that horse has got a lot going on. What we have to do is let them dance with us and enjoy the music. Our sheriff, Lake County Sheriff's Office, our sheriff allows us to have a mounted posse. It's all civilian. He also allows us to go and compete in Olympics, in horsemanship. And in those horsemanship, you have jumping, you'll have a gymkhana of some sort, you'll have day obstacles, which they put all kinds of scary stuff up for the day, night obstacles with flares and firecrackers and trash cans. There'll be a jumping, a dressage, and equitation, all done in one venue. That is the universal, in my opinion, best thing that somebody can do in the equestrian world. Because there you learn the other disciplines, how they ride English. What is dressage? Seriously, dressage. It sounds like I'm trying on women's clothing. No, it's actually riding, okay? And it's something where finesse matters. You're dancing with your horse, you're moving together. I really enjoy being able to train with people who are distinguished and have proven that they are educators in horsemanship. If you get a little bit from everybody, bring it home and use it yourself, it makes you a much better horse person. Trail riding. Now, everybody that I know at one time in their life growing up wanted to have a horse, especially ladies. And cowboys get into this for the cowgirls, right? Well, everybody wants to own a horse. They want to ride that horse, but they're not always comfortable. There's something a little bit scary about having an 1,100-pound horse between your legs with his own brain that's only so big. And in your mind, at any second, he could eat you. Oh no, what am I going to do now? But understand that once you've tamed that horse and once you've learned to ride with that horse, it feels so good inside. So why would you do obstacles? Why would you put your horse through different opportunities to succeed in a course like the courses that we use? Well, out on the trail, you're riding down the trail and a rabbit runs across the trail. Your horse runs right through his butt to get away from a rabbit. Where are you? Did you know that this might happen? I am going to give you that opportunity to see how your horse is going to react to different kinds of sensitization. Now, you'll desensitize them and yourself and mostly build the confidence between the two of you. Kind of like Dancing with the Stars. You know, the first week, my goodness, they look like a couple of monkeys in a football. But by week 3, week 4, they look bad to the bone. These folks can move. Now, I have no rhythm. Very little rhythm. Okay, I can't jump either. But know this, I can tell when somebody looks good dancing, and those folks got it going on. And what we try to do here is make the dance partner, the horse and the rider, a team. So you as the rider know how your horse is going to react. What's he going to do? Is he going to rear? Is he going to buck? Is he just going to passively stand? Is he going to shake? Well, we give him that opportunity. The best thing that can happen is you have your horse be afraid of one of my obstacles. Why? Because then you learn how he's going to react, and you can sit comfortably knowing that. But this partner that we have, wouldn't we like to have fun with our partner and do something else? Even if you're, I don't know, the greatest swimmer, swims 14, 16 hours a day, you don't think he wouldn't want to take a break and go to Disney? That's what we're doing here. We're giving you the Disney break. Come on out and play on the obstacles. Bring your $300,000 dressage horse out here and play in the obstacles. Y'all get to do something different together. A little variety in your life. Add a little fruit in your Fruit Loops. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Spice it up a bit. And this is for everybody that owns a horse. Anytime you can take your horse and approach an obstacle, that obstacle just became an opportunity. It came an opportunity for you and your horse to build a bond and a trust to go through this opportunity. This is bad to the bone. This is awesome. This is creating the relationship. You and your horse doing something together. Just like you and Dad going somewhere together, going fishing. You're having an experience together. You're bonding with your horse. Wet saddle blankets makes you good. Variety makes you versatile. Oh, looky here. Karen Risley has showed up on a young 3-year-old horse. And what we're going to do today is see if we can get this horse through some of the obstacles. We're going to be using techniques. We're going to be using the walk away. A horse is a herd animal, and they like to be with a herd. If the other two horses walk through it, he is more inclined to walk through it himself. We're also going to coax him. We're going to do different things to help them move. One thing that I want to stress is when you're doing obstacles, don't look down. Get your eyes filled before you get there. Keep your chin up. Walk with your horse in the saddle, and you will walk through most obstacles with little or no trouble. For the first time, what we're going to do is incrementally have wins. You've got to celebrate your wins. You've got to let your horse know when they're doing the right thing. And all it takes is a good boy, just a rub to let them know they're doing the right thing. Every single time. Consistency breeds discipline. Every single time they do what they're supposed to, good boy, good boy. When they're not doing what they're supposed to, you use your riding aids. Whether it's the bit, your spurs, your legs, however it is that you're going to communicate with your horse, you need to make sure that you are consistent in those movements. When you get what you ask for, release the pressure. If you're pulling in that horse's mouth and you're wanting them to back up, when he starts to back up, you've got to release the pressure. That way they know this is what they're asking for, okay? There's got to be a reward. One of the things that we do to hamper our success when we're approaching an obstacle or an opportunity is we look down. We look down, we need to stay in our seat and move with our horse as we approach. When you approach, keep your chin up, moving in your seat with your horse, and just put them where you want them to go, keeping your chin up. Now, Karen's fixing to do this on a new horse, and hopefully the horse won't do it, and we'll get an opportunity to see what we need to do. Wow, that didn't work out for us. Okay. All right, we have Karen on silver. She's gonna walk across the little bridge, through the water, and put her front feet in the box. This is horsemanship. Understand that balance is important. Anytime you're walking across any kind of balance beam or anything narrow, even a bridge, keep your head and eyes straight ahead. All right, here she goes. Now what we've done here is made it where we have to come in here. Now when you do this at home and you're training other horses, understand these horses, when they're scared sometimes, they will mount you to get out of the way. Great. Now this horse is up on the wood.
Good boy.
Good.
Good boy.
Good job.
Good boy.
So you got the win. We're going to celebrate the win. Now what we're all going to do is walk off together. We're going to start together. One mistake that we make is when our horse starts to step up on something and we want to stop them, instead of giving them the stop command, we give them the backup command. And you'll get the horse to back right back off of something that you're asking them to get on and stop. When we get to where we want to be, ask for the stop, not the back up. Okay? So now we're going to step off together. 1, 2, 3. Walk on. Together.
Walk on.
Good job. Now keeping your chin up, we're going to walk into the water. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. I can leave you with one thing, it's going to be that you have an 1,100-pound best friend. Treat him with respect. Understand the most important thing at the end of the day is that you go home safely. Train with your horse, not against your horse. And if you start noticing yourself and your horse getting upset, stop what you're doing and take a break. Mounted shooting. Wow. You talk about barrel racing on steroids. This is wide open, bad to the bone. You know, when you're riding your horse and running barrels, it's a lot of fun. When you're riding your horse, you're shooting targets. 2 guns, 5 rounds each, wide open, shooting targets. It is off the chain. You do not truly know your limitations until you've exceeded them. And generally, that's painful.
So what's it like to live with that?
It is wide open, 90 miles an hour from the time he opens his eyes to the time he closes them at night. It's wide open, always into something. And I'm usually behind him going, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. But he does it anyway. He's always wanting to try something, or he's always wanting to do more than what you actually should. He's very caring. He is the thing that really gets him through the most is when he does the Wounded Warrior projects. He does announcing for that, and to see the veterans that are missing limbs, it's very gut-wrenching to hear their stories, but it's also satisfaction to know that they're missing a limb, but they're still surviving. And it's just something that touches the heart, and he just enjoys it. I wouldn't want to change him at all. This is who I fell in love with, and that's who I want to stay the same. He tells me, don't do anything that you're prepared not to do for the rest of your life. A lot of people say that, you know, I was the best thing that happened to him and he was the best thing that happened to me, and they're probably right.
Everything that we do is pretty cool. Everything that we do with horses is cool. I wanted to go sailing because I don't know how, so I bought a boat, and now we're sailors. Boy, that's a film right there. We look like Gilligan and the skipper every time Austin and I get on the boat. We have a really, really good time, you know, with the four-wheelers or the Harley or whatever it is we do. We have a really, really good time and a great life. You know, I know that at any minute, you know, I could be done, but I hope that doesn't happen anytime soon because I'm really enjoying this, you know. One of my friends on Facebook says, I remember when we were at the beach here in Daytona, you had just got out of boot camp. And I got out of boot camp, they had a condominium on the beach, and I went over there and spent the week with them in Daytona. And she says, I remember you sounding reveille with garbage can lids and all this stuff. She goes, you were wide open. You've been wide open your whole life. I says, yeah, you know what? And when you get up and speak at my funeral, you let them folks know this guy gave 110% from jump street to finish. And that's the way I roll. Even when I'm smearing poop on the walls because I'm too old to remember what to do with it, I'm gonna be doing it 100%. Because that's the way I roll.
Cheryl?